Here are 5 unique business ideas that you could launch in Africa this 2024. The first business you could launch in Africa that's going to be making you those millions is a borehole drilling business. Yeah, you got me right. With a borehole drilling business, you need to just import a drilling machine from China because it's cheaper, and you have the opportunity to choose the quality of the material you want according to your means. That's why China is always the ideal. And let me use this opportunity to tell you guys right here that there's a big mistake a lot of us have been making in the past years. That's the mistake of importing from Dubai. We forget that Dubai imports from China before selling it to us in return and gain lots of money by doing that, while we lose lots of money as well by buying from Dubai. Dubai doesn't produce, all right? Just as well as most countries right now in the world, they don't produce. They actually import from China. All they do is get their label engraved on the products right from China, and they sell them out to some of us who like buying from other countries, thinking the quality is best because it's not from China. That's something that we really need to demystify, okay? The secret here is actually buying from China, but choosing the quality you want. That was an aside. Back to the drilling business, okay? So I am just going to be putting the price here of an average quality for you guys to have an idea of amount that you will need to buy such a product from China. And don't forget that aside from that, you would have to pay things like the custom fee and the transportation fee and all the like. So once you've imported your drilling machine, you just need to do what we know everyone does now, letting know of your services and that you have that machine, okay? You could do that on social media. As I always say, social media is the easiest way of promoting businesses right now. Once people know you have that machine, that's how you get to make your millions already. And another good thing with this business is that you could offer your services even in other towns, okay? Most machinery businesses in Africa that are put on lease are rented per hour, okay? The second business I am going to be talking to you guys about here is the roofing sheet production firm, okay? That's a good business to set up in Africa right now. It also has to do with real estate, just like the previous point. You guys know, as I always say, real estate is the big deal right now in Africa. So there's no way you could ever go wrong if you are producing anything that has to do with real estate in Africa right now. So we are talking here of roofing sheets, okay? What we call zinc commonly, or better still, stone-coated tile production. That is the real deal in Africa right now. Everyone loves to have those beautiful stone-coated roofs in Africa right now. That's the trend in Africa right now. And there's no way you could go wrong with such a business. I love this business because you mustn't spend a lot in rent in town or rural areas, okay? This is something you could do in the outskirts or in villages or even right in the forest. You could actually carry out such production. And you just need to get some contacts from contractors who build houses or retail firms that sell building material and deliver your products to them. And at times they come and get them right from your production center. This is a business that's very lucrative, and all you need to do is import the cutting machine and set up your chain of production, and you start producing, and that is it. And I would also see this opportunity to encourage Africans to think out of the box, because one problem that we, the Africans, often have is that we don't think out of the box. We are so comfortable with importing whatever we use in Africa, and it's something that keeps bothering me a lot whenever I think of the fact that we are satisfied with being consumers and we don't see anything wrong with that. I suddenly begin to feel bad. So the thing is, Africans need to know that a lot of things we import out there are things we could actually produce in Africa, because we have the raw material. By the way, most of those other countries that produce those things actually buy those raw materials from Africa, okay? So this tile production business is actually one of them. Did you know that tiles could be produced in Africa? No, you didn't. I guess you didn't. But that's something that we could produce in Africa because we've got all the raw material right here. Do you know that Africa alone has 250 deposits of kaolin? Do you know that Egypt alone produces more than 50% of tiles in Africa? And that's basically the only country, I think, that really produces tiles in Africa. What are the other countries doing? Nigeria, Algeria, Cameroon has a lot of kaolin as well, and clay. So what are these countries doing? And even countries like Tanzania, what are they doing? What are you guys doing? Okay, it's time for our governments to really wake up and do something. And also, one problem we have in Africa is always our governments. And I subconsciously said it, but we forget that we shouldn't always rely on the government. Okay, what are we as individuals doing to develop Africa? Those are some of the questions we should be asking ourselves, and stop importing every little bit of thing. Please, dear Africans or Africans in the diaspora, it's time to level up, okay? Africans are already changing the narrative, and don't be left out. That's why we are making some of these videos, for us to actually join the race, okay? The third business I am going to be talking here about is a business that I love so much, because it's a business that complements electricity in Africa. And we are talking here of solar panels. Yeah, if you could set up a business where you import or produce solar panels and install them in homes and companies, whatever, in Africa, you are going to be a millionaire in no time. It is in huge demand right now in Africa, because Africans have noticed that they have this advantage of having great sunlight, and looking at the hot temperature in Africa and the intensity of the sun in Africa, solar panels is a good deal for Africans. So the solar panels is something that comes to complement the hydroelectricity that we are using in Africa, that is often never enough, or at times inadequate. And even in cities, those who use the hydroelectric power are happily complementing or even subsidizing with the solar panels. Lots of homes in the city now use both the hydroelectric power and the solar panels alongside, in order for them to be capable of switching from one power supply to the other whenever the other one disappoints. So it's a good business you could invest in Africa, and you are very sure to make millions. So like I said, setting up such a firm in Africa and doing the installation service as well is a plus. The fourth business idea I am going to be talking here about is a business idea that I am somehow emotionally attached to, and I am going to let you guys know why. This is actually the CCTV business. Yeah, this is a good business to set up in Africa right now, okay? Lots of Africans have begun installing CC cameras in their homes. If you could set up a business where you import or produce CC cameras in Africa, you are going to make millions in dollars, and I mean it. Now, almost every home in cities in Africa install CC cameras, okay? We've had lots of bad experiences, and we've equally had instances that we've avoided the worst thanks to CC cameras. So people value CC cameras a lot in Africa right now. Let me tell you guys a little story. 8 years back, when I was still in the professional school, there's this experience that I would never forget. It was a video trending online of a woman who caught her nanny mistreating her baby. It was a baby of, the baby was barely a year old and some months. And that, oh God, I just can't get myself to pronounce the words here, but you guys know what I mean. That video, I got so traumatized by that video that I swore to myself that there's no way I would be living my life without a CC camera in my home once I start having babies, because that video was so viral that almost everyone saw it, and it aroused a lot of awareness in African homes as concerns the importance of having a surveillance camera in your home. And also, you guys know a lot of African women now work, they have a 9-to-5 job or a business they are catering for out of their homes, and consequently they don't have that time to sit down and monitor what's happening in their homes, properly take care of their kids. So they need to be assured whenever they are out there that their kids are faring well. So a CC camera is just a perfect solution for them. So it is a good deal for Africans. So setting up such a business in Africa, you are going to thank me later. So before we continue with the fifth video idea, let's go straight away to react to the polls. You guys know we often ask polls and some of you have been complaining that you don't get the answers. So let's quickly react to one of the polls we have and give some shout out. So we posted this and asked you guys, which is the most beautiful city in Africa in 2023? So lots of you voted for Cape Town, which has 62%, Nairobi 24%, Marrakesh 11%, and Luanda 3%. And when we go to the comments, we have these comments from the Glorious Kingdom. Hey Glorious Kingdom, thanks for always stopping by. Honestly, it depends. If I want to visit a historic city, Marrakesh, but for a more modern feel, I'll choose either Cape Town or Luanda, though the latter is really expensive. Yeah, Luanda is expensive. Rom M says, they are all beautiful to me. And Christopher North says, Kush or Kush, meaning the whole continent. Alright. And yeah, I also agree with this. And I also agree with what the Glorious Kingdom said, because when it comes to beauty, let's not forget that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So what you find beautiful to you might necessarily not be beautiful to the other person. So a lot of factors come in when we talk of beauty. So a town could be attractive to you or beautiful to you, maybe because of the people, the kindness of the people there could make a town or a particular city seem attractive to you. And some other person who goes to that same place and doesn't have that experience could find that place not attractive or not beautiful. That said, let's dive right away to our fifth business idea, which is farm machinery rental. This time around, we are going towards agriculture. There's no way you could go wrong in Africa when you do anything that has to do with agriculture, okay? So when we talk of the machinery rental here, we talk of things like the caterpillar, the bulldozers for farms, okay? For people who have farms, plantations. You know, in Africa, we are used to small-scale farming, not because we don't want to produce more. We are not happy importing food, no. We produce far much less than what we need for our consumption. And the African population keeps growing by the day and needs food. And right now, a lot of Africans really want to go huge when it comes to agriculture, but they are limited because they just can't afford to buy those machineries. A lot of Africans are opening up plantations. I've seen cases where someone would go for 10 hectares of land, for example, and it's not capable of cultivating 5 hectares of that land because it's not easy to cultivate a very vast amount of land with human labor. So the need for the machinery is there, okay? So if you could import caterpillars, bulldozers, tilling machines and all the like, and put them on lease or on rental for Africans, you are going to make lots and lots of money. And when I talk of money, I mean millions of money, and why not millions of dollars, okay? And like I said, with the drilling business, you do the same with the farm machinery rental business, okay? You rent it per hour, and also if you are importing such a machine, you better import some spare parts as well. I can never emphasize that enough, okay? So those are the 5 business ideas I had for the visionary you watching this video. And if you've watched this video and you found value in it, why not subscribe to the channel in order to get some more? That said, thanks for watching this video and see you on my next one.